Now this is a whelk pot. I'll run through the stages of the semblance of this. As you see yourself, we've all little holes for the water to go through to sink the pot. Plus you see the wire here, that's also, as you see here, to keep the concrete in the pot. As you see, these are old ones at the moment, just to show you. Bits of ropes and what have we got in here, shells. And you see the way we started off with this one first. We actually experimenting with the netting. And we've also a ring in the bottom, just to weight the netting down, that to see what to keep the whelk in. And as you see, it's pretty big entrance in this one, so we don't know till we try these things out. So at the moment, that's the way that is. Now we come to the handle, the original handle of the drum. As you see, the top here is fastened tightly. Sometimes we put a bit of silicone, make sure everything is there. And the handle here, then we also tie onto the main line to haul it back into the boat. So actually that's one of them. And I'll just pop over now and I'll show you another one. Here again, we have the same drum. It's also a Coca-Cola carton again, as its life started off as a concentrating for Coca-Cola. And here we have as you see, the lid is fastened down here with a piece of a car tube cut, piece of ordinary wire, put in with a tie wrap to keep it in tighten. Then again, as you see here, we had in another one, netting like this, but this is a piece of garden netting that we said we'd give this a go, see would it work. So we actually, when the missus went out to go look for the onions in the garden and all, piece of her netting was gone. So that's that. Then again, you see here, we've pieced the old stuff, because we're all going to refit them newly for next year. They all have to be stripped down and cleaned, and all the barnacles will have to be cut off. Then again, as you see, the cement is in there. Tie wrap, we put it back in here. The handle also, same as the last one. Lovely job, just bend onto that. Also the lid is tied on with all the different clips. So that's actually that one. Now we have a slightly different method on this one. It's the same drum, same place it come from, but we have a smaller entrance in this one. So it's actually a smaller water pipe tied in with the door. There's also tied in with the 3 straps, put in with the tie clip, open again. Same procedure, except this is a smaller one. So we just to see we keep the whelks in. Sometimes when the pots are full up, they'll be actually all nearly coming out the mouth. So we said we try this to see would it be experiment better on to keep the stuff in it. So then again, same procedure. The doors also cut out with the same drum. This is the original piece. Put back in again, tie her back there, and as you see, as the top must have gone, so we actually got another one somewhere and we put it back on that, so it's not the whelks will all come out through there. So that's that one. So now we have another little lad here that had gone through the mill. It went to a bit of surgery, so we had to experiment again, and we were short of a lid, so we picked up a piece of plastic somewhere else. Same procedure. The little water pipe again, just 4 holes cut out because it's not the original piece of the drum. It's actually another piece of plastic. Basic the same thing, same clips, but except it's a different piece of drum altogether. It's much the same rubber. Piece of I think it's off a big hook of some description. Where we come across that one, I don't know, but it works anyway. there again, as you see yourself, it all has to be refurbished. It's all different piece of crab from the season fishing. As you see yourself, in this one the rope is going right through, and we have the ends coming out here, and coming out on a great bridle to be picked up here, and a little swivel on it. And it's basically much the same as Rick. The only difference in it is the different lid. As you see yourself, it's not actually the same piece. As you see yourself, it's not cut out of the drum as we see in this one. There's the difference in the two. That's actually the original piece. You take out like that. As you see, it's a perfect fit. So we put that back down like that. That's that one. And there's what I was saying to you again. This is the different. It's actually, as you see yourself, is bigger than the square, so it's not the same fitting. But then again, when it's shut like that, put the lid back on her like that. Bristow, they are same thing again. So that's what you make do what you got. So there, that's that one. Now we have basically the same procedure again, but slightly different method on this one. We have a piece of drainage pipe again, but slightly bigger. The door is slightly, it's not cut as normally, it's cut sort of bigger, and it's tied with 2 wraps there, and just the pipe is put in with the 3 little tight clips again. Basic the same procedure, except this time the tight clip is slightly different when we have the piece of tire as our piping, or whatever you want to call it, rubber tubing, into an ordinary piece of wire. Basically the same thing again. Same as we said, have to be done, clean up everything, stripped off the barnacles again, or else it doesn't fish, they get too dirty. Then again, as we say, you just come along and put your fastener back down again. You see how perfect it fits in the yoke because it's the original piece. And there you have it. It's no different, everyone is the same. And as you see yourself, quite a lot of dirt comes out, and that's why they all have to be brought in and power washed and scraped and whatever it may be to be done with them. So now this is slightly different, this one. It's another bit of a brainwave. We come up with it again. It actually worked quite well actually, but then again, as you see, we have a netting so far down in this one, but it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tie wraps in this one, and we have no door. It's actually a piece of heavy netting. We're experimenting here now with the different weights of netting. Sometimes the netting will float up out and it's not very successful, but this one seemed to work alright. And when the whelk seams in it, we see the netting and it'll be up here, be actually full of whelks, and apparently it works to an extent without the lid. Then again, we have basically the same design, but as you see, there's less stuff on this one. It's actually the only difference in it. You just tie the rope to that, and the netting is the difference in this. This is totally different, as you see, to this one. You have the rope running through it, different lid, but basically the same drum, but it's a totally different pot altogether. So that's that one out of the way, and that's that one out of the way. And then again, we have a piece of original, I think we have a piece of down pipe in this one. It's actually trying to keep the whelks in, as we thought ourselves, that so if they went to go in the narrow hole, hopefully they wouldn't get back out again. But as you see yourself, the difference in the sizes, they're actually a big difference in that hole there now, and in this one, as you see yourself. So therefore, when we get, the theory is when we get them in it, there's less room for them to come back out again. Perfect door, cut out the same drum, put 3 tight clips again, 4 little clips holding the, as we call it, the piece of the down pipe, I suppose about 1 inch in depth. Tie wrap again, piece of your tubing, and basically you have your wire again, same thing. Basically, you see there it is, your piece of down pipe. It's actually It's unbelievable what you use. It's naturally, it's what we call, I suppose, recycling, whatever you can get yourself. It actually do work. There's the piece of the rope where it's been cut off. Quick release, put them all on the boat to bring them up, and then we get them ashore in the trailer and get them up as fast as we can and clean them all up for the year. After Christmas now, plays God, in the next month and a half, to be all out of series pots getting ready again. So it's like a circle that all keeps going and going and going. You have to keep the gear right and clean, or it doesn't fish. Then again, we come to a slightly different one. As you see yourself, we were using these size, but then we come along and we said we'll experiment a little more on this lad. This is actually stuff coming from a swimming pool. It's actually called stuff for softening the water. It's what do you call it, for the detergent stuff to put in the swimming pools. Then again, slightly different. So the piece cut out the whole drum. It's a totally different drum. It's a long drum. It's actually heavier and harder to use actually when the stuff is in it. Hopefully it's that bit heavier again. But so you have 1, 2, 3 tie wraps on the side of this one. You have 4 little tie wraps keeping then again the drainage pipe in it again. You have a clip here on the side to hold the tire tube. Clip again. And now you see the difference in the size. It's a totally different pot altogether. So you have the variation of this lad, and then again you have, as we say, this one. Now you see the difference in the openings. Now, as you say to yourself, why are they so different? Well, the simple reason is it's a bigger drum and we have to cut a bigger hole in to put the door on it. That's the way we look at it. So that's the way the cookie crumble, as the fella says. So we leave that one down there out of the way and we go back to this lad. As you see, it's a heavier pot, there's more concrete in it. Basically the same thing, the rope going through. Here again, it's based up, come up, and it's actually tied onto here again. Webbing pipe, or drainage pipe I should say. Tire, the tube now, and then again the tubing now is not as good as it used to be. It's a bit of plastic effort now. So it perishes very easy, and it doesn't last too long, because when the sun gets on it and it's left out any bit out of water at all, the minute you go pull the pipe or the tire wrapping, it breaks, because it's not like the old rubber. It's all it's very plasticky. So that's the theory of that one. Now we'll come to the last one here now. It's basically the same thing again. Small bit of writing on this. Maybe you'd like to have a look at it. You think we're... There you are. Look, it's the original piece of advertising on this one. So maybe the Whelks can read. I don't know, but you will have a go at it anyway. We left it on it. Basically the same thing again. We've 3 tie wraps on a large door again. Much the same as all the rest of ones, but it's as I say, you have to put it in proportions. When the pot is that bit bigger, you have to make the door bigger. So then again, same thing again. There you go. There's actually the Whelk's home when he goes in there with a big lump of crab and a piece of dogfish. That goes in here, and hopefully that we get plenty of Whelks. Sometimes you look at it and you'll see shrimps in them. There actually be plenty of shrimps sometimes in them, and they're coming out through the holes in the washout. And shrimps are very good if you could get enough of them too, but these are totally different things. They're for Whelks, only for Whelks. And it's time consuming, but well rewarded if the stuff is in them. Plenty of work involved in them. They're actually a couple of stone weight when they're Whelks and all in them. They're very heavy. Anyone with it haven't got a bad back, he'll end up with one. That's guaranteed. And you're always rushing around with them also, because those skippers sometimes don't allow you much grace. Just get on with it. Now, that's all I have to say about the little shrimp, the Whelk Pots. It takes all from a concentration can from the factories. You buy them. I don't know offhand, just offhand now. One time I used to get them very, what you call, reasonably. Now I think they're tightened up and all this recycling stuff and all. God, you can't get a piece of wire even. They take everything nowadays. One time you could go along the beach and pick up something, and you could go into a factory and ask them for a drum. Now it says, sorry, we can't give you one because it all has to go to recycling. And so we just have to make do with what we have. And that's all I have to say to you about on that.